Bienvenue! Des adjectifs en français, masculin ou féminin. In French, as in English, an adjective is a word that's used to describe a noun or a thing. In French, the main difference here is that if a word is masculine or feminine, masculin ou féminin, the spelling of the adjective changes. Sometimes the word changes, and we're just going to take a peek at that so that we can better use our adjectives when we're writing or speaking in French. First thing we need to know is the noun masculine that we're describing or feminine. So des noms masculins, masculine nouns, how will we know it's masculine? You could look every word up in the dictionary. That takes time. Otherwise, you can look for some key words in front of it. So le, un, du, ce. Any of these words, if they are in front of a word, would indicate that it's masculine. Le and un are ones that you see a lot, meaning the or a. Un crayon, le crayon. Those are, any word that follows one of those words would be masculine. If you do look it up in the dictionary, you'd see an M, of course indicating masculine, which would also be an indicator. If a word is feminine, on the other hand, des noms féminins, feminine nouns, you would see a la, une, like la gomme, une gomme, the eraser. An eraser. So those indicate something feminine. Or de la, cette. All indicators, a word following one of these words would be a feminine noun, a feminine word. If you look it up in dictionary, you would see the F for féminin, the F. So, hence, so des adjectifs masculin et féminin. The adjective spelling or pronunciation will change depending on the noun. So if you're looking at describing a masculine word, you would use a format, as you see here, noir, bleu, brun. So colors, it doesn't really matter what the adjective is, it would have a masculine form. Sometimes the feminine form is the same, but oftentimes it's a little bit different. And let's take a peek here. We see that most commonly we're just adding an E on the end. So sometimes it doesn't really change much. Noir, noir, bleu, bleu. Brun changes a little bit more. Brun becomes brune. So all you're doing is adding an E on the end, but with the E on the end, it's suddenly you hear the N, so it changes a little bit the pronunciation. You see sometimes, for example, with the gros, when it becomes gros, we actually add a double S and an E. Bon becomes bonne in feminine form, so an extra N-E. So oftentimes, most often it's just an E, but sometimes it looks a little bit different. Let's look at a few that are even a little bit more different. Sometimes a word changes the spelling completely. So we look at these ones, beau, vieux, nouveau, sportif. In the feminine form, beau, which means handsome, handsome or beautiful, becomes belle. Vieux, old, becomes vieille. So you see how they're connected, but there's quite a bit of differences in the spelling. Nouveau, nouvelle, which means new. So for Nouvelle Écosse, you probably are familiar with, which is, of course, the French word for Nova Scotia. Nouvelle Écosse, which leads you to believe Écosse must be feminine, doesn't it? Sportif, sportive. So, how do you know which spelling? Again, we had the indicators earlier about if it's a masculine or a feminine word. If you're really not sure, check in your dictionary. Check in word reference. And in word reference, you can look up a word such as, oh, my favorite animal. Oops, we'll spell it in English just because. Cat, we look here, we see chat. N, that's indicating it's a noun. The M over here is telling me it's masculine. If I had looked it up, as I should have maybe in French, we would get the same, oops, and searched it, we would get chat. Do we actually have, does it actually tell us? Yes, over here in the French part it would say non masculin. So you don't really actually need to look it up in English, but the dictionary will have this for you, so which is very handy to know. So we'll end that with a passez une bonne journée. And you notice how bonne journée The spelling of bonne there lets us know that the word journée is feminine, or I guess the une would have been a good hint too. Anyway, au revoir, à la prochaine.